And it's just basketball. It's just basketball.
Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. Welcome back, my people. Welcome back. It is Monday. For fans of LeBron James, that means it is time to hear what some people think about your fake, false, manufactured king via Super Thanks. But before we do, as always, got to give a shout out to the members of the channel. I truly cannot thank you guys enough. Shout out to Gary, Thanos Snap Feminism, In the Groove 56, Great Juice, The Real Siberius, The Real Heisenberg, Mary Lewis, Rike, Vernon Lee Warren, Is Not That Serious, Ant Weston, Keith Brazell, Chase 1738, Austin Casey, Daryl Stewart, Wayman Earls, Rick Claverly, Wizman Ballin, Twin, Dr. Les Barrett, Drum Jackson, Eric C., Snug Chamberlain, Adidas 20, Verbal Kent, Lil Greg 897, Alexander X, New Life SR, Peter G, and Lil A. Thank you guys so very much for your continued support of the channel. I truly cannot thank you enough. And without further ado, my people, let's see what some people have to say about the duck, the deer, the leader of the 4 and 6 kingdom. First up, shout out to the Real Siberius. This is coming from my LeBron James Loves to Lose video. And this is evidence because during the loss, LeBron James was on the sidelines, chucking it up with the opposition, laughing and just having a good old time. Because LeBron James was happy that at the time, he kept his 10-point streak alive. So anytime LeBron James gets to stat pad, it makes him feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. Anyway, shout out to the Real Siberius coming through with the $2 super thanks. He says, LeBron has 2 shirts he loves to wear that tell you everything you need to know about him as a man. Number 1, check my stats. I am sorry, but only a bitch would wear that shirt. I love that every time he has reached some meaningless milestone, like most points all time, the Lakers lost. Only LeBron and his fangirls care about stats. Everyone else thinks you and your stats are an embarrassment. Number 2, more than an athlete. LeBron, you are barely an athlete, MFer. Being physically gifted in no way makes you an athlete. Athletes display grace, finesse, and dexterity. You look like a drunk Sasquatch lumbering up and down the court. Athletes don't injure themselves flopping around on the ground like a bad video game with the ragdoll physics turned on. What else are you? Your versatility in life is as empty as your bag on the court. There are 2 things you do at an elite level: turn the ball over and lose when it counts. LeBron James fanboys, that truth should really pierce you right in the soul. He says, LeBron, you are special though. You don't love to win or hate to lose. You don't have the stones or the stomach for either. Pretty please with sugar on top, retire and disappear. Shout out to the Real Siberius. Yeah, both of those shirts. are, I don't even, the check my stats shirt, that's self-explanatory. But for me, the more than an athlete shirt, I say this on this channel a lot. How you do anything is how you do everything. So whatever LeBron James that you think you are doing beyond athleticism, you do it as well as as you maximize your potential with your athleticism. Your career has been about shortcuts and flash and narratives, and therefore the things that you do outside of the basketball court, surprise, surprise, people, are about narratives and flash and manufactured truth. This is why LeBron James' Netflix docuseries Starting Five has not been renewed for a season 3. Because there is no substance to it. Again, it was all about the flash. It was all about making these superstars just look like celebrities and larger than life without showing anything really gritty that people can relate to. This is LeBron James on and off the court, my people. So yeah, shout out to the real Siberius. Thank you so very much for the $2 super thanks. Thank you for your continued support of the channel, and as always, for your insightful comments. And again, for people who have not checked out the real Siberius, go and check out his YouTube channel, as there is insightful information over there as well. Next up, shout out to Swan Daily coming through with the $2 super thanks. This is coming from my Michael Jordan just destroyed LeBron James and the modern NBA. And of course, we know this was Michael Jordan talking about his love of the game clause contract, his love of the game clause in his contract. And, you know, to me, just his putting that as a priority to have in his contract, that shows you where his mind was at. Upon entering the NBA, getting ready to make millions of dollars, his priority was making sure that he could always play the game that he loves when and where he wants with no restrictions. That is love of the game. And these modern players spend all of their time trying to figure out how to play less, people. I don't know how it could get any more self-explanatory than that. Is your actions show people what your true intentions are. So modern day NBA players, their actions show people that their true intentions is to get paid the most for doing the least, which would be cool. Well, it wouldn't even be cool if you were doing a job that you didn't love, but it's really not cool doing a job that you supposedly love to do. But anyway, shout out to Swan Daily coming through with the $2 super thanks. He says, why do you think Pat Riley signed off on the Heatles? It seemed to be against his character since he's old school. His old school mentality drove the Duck away. Well, because I feel like, you know, as his position, I believe he's president of the Miami Heat. But whatever his position is, I feel like that requires that you do get as much talent to your team as you can. So it serves you have a different purpose, you know, than if you are a superstar on a team. I don't believe that Pat Riley is a superstar would be recruiting top tier talent. But yeah, if you own a team or the president or whatever, and you're responsible for getting players to your team, then yeah, in that case, you're going to fill your team with as much talent as you could possibly get, because I believe that's your job. You're trying to win for the city. You're trying to win for the fans. You know, you're trying to win for the organization. And I feel like any team that is able to get as much talent on their from an organization standpoint, again, not from a player standpoint, but any team from an organization standpoint they're going to get as much talent on the team as they can afford. So the fact that they were able to make that happen, however they were able to make that happen, yeah, I believe that's your job to take that opportunity in that position. But again, he does have an old school mentality, so he still has that accountability mentality, which we all know LeBron James, the duck, the deer, the leader of the 4 and 6 kingdom, is allergic to accountability, is allergic to responsibility. So despite the fact that, you know, they were able to put that team together, Pat Riley still understood that, hey, LeBron James, you are not a champion. You have no idea what it takes. I know what it takes to win a championship, and it takes more than sitting on a stage talking about not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. So yeah, you know, being part of putting the team together, that's part of his job. And I think that's part of any organization's job, is to bring as much talent as you can with the money that you have. And if you're able to make those kind of things happen, then, you know, then you're fortunate as an organization to be able to make it happen. But as a superstar, to be conspiring to do that, to me, that's a completely different thing. But anyway, shout out to Swan Daily. Thank you so much for coming through with the $2 super thanks. Thank you so very much for your continued support of the channel. Next up, shout out to Swan Daily again. This is coming from my Kyrie confirms that LeBron tried to trade him, and that's why he left Cleveland. Because we all know LeBron James has never admitted, yeah, I tried to have Kyrie traded, because I try to have a lot of players traded behind their back because I'm a despicable human being. LeBron James has never admitted, so Kyrie finally came out and admitted that. So shout out to Swan Daily coming through with the $2 super thanks. He says, I want to quickly mention that Jordan won 6 championships for the losing franchise that drafted him without ever going to Game 7. On the other hand, LeBron left the losing franchise that drafted him, came back and only won 1 championship, being down 3-1 in the first 4 games. If this isn't evidence that the Duck isn't on Jordan's level, I don't know what is. Yeah, this is facts. And yeah, to me, once Jordan became the new standard, because this is what it's about. It's about what is the standard at the time. And there's a lot of ways to live up to the standard. There's a lot of ways to exceed the standard. But each time a superstar comes along that becomes the new standard, then you have to live up to that standard. And to me, LeBron James was in the perfect position to try and do that. But yet, he decided to throw all standards out the window, which is why he will never, ever be respected in the way that he wants to. He had the perfect opportunity coming to a losing franchise to try and turn that losing franchise into a dynasty. And who knows what would have happened. I mean, they use every excuse from in the book from him. Oh, well, nobody wants to come to a small market team. Nobody wanted to come to Cleveland. LeBron James, you don't know what would have happened in the future. You don't know what would have happened in your 8th or 9th year. You don't know what would have happened if you stuck it out and actually put in the work and was able to win a championship with the pieces around you. And then once you guys were champions, it might have actually drew more players to want to come to Cleveland. But at the end of the day, all of it is just excuses, people. The fact of the matter is, LeBron James, you had a chance to do something Jordan-like, but because the reality of it is you are not Jordan-like, that is the real reason you squandered the opportunity. It starts fundamentally as a competitor. You are not Jordan-like, and therefore you did what you did. If you had only won one championship in Cleveland without leaving, without running, you would be much more respected than you are now. Not to mention if you had figured out a way to win 2 or 3 or 4 championships by staying at Cleveland, you would be much more respected. But, you know, if ifs were a fifth. Shout out to Swan Daily. Thanks so much for the $2 super thanks. Thank you so very much for your continued support of the channel. Next up, shout out to Lamar Person Jr. 02. This is coming from the same video about Kyrie. He says, hey, Uncommon, I'm 23 going on 24 in February. Been watching you since April or May of 2024 and have been subscribed since. Also a drummer myself. Shout out to you. Shout out to all my fellow drummers on the channel. Shout out to all my fellow musicians on the channel. He says, brace yourself because I have a lot to say. It took Westbrook playing for the Lakers for me to actually see how brainwashed I was about LeBron after doing research myself and watching the full games, both current day and all throughout his career, and not just highlights or listening to the media. And I shouldn't have to say that, but I'm an unbiased RW fan, by the way. Second favorite all-time after AI and ahead of Jordan. And I know not to overrate him just because I'm a fan. Exactly. You can be a fan of a player, but also acknowledge that players are greater than your favorite player. LeBron James fans well, I would say you don't understand that, but you guys actually have been brainwashed to think LeBron James is also great. So not only is he your favorite player, but you guys blindly accept that he's great. But he says, just like today's Lakers, there were multiple games where I or other people watched the 2022 Lakers games and took note of how when LeBron was out of the game, whether injured or subbed out, the whole team thrived and actually won some games against tough and weak opponents. When it was just AD and Russ looked like himself again once actually given a chance, but the moment LeBron came back, everything went out the window, from overall team chemistry to ball movement, defense, you name it. You just named it. You are correct. Overall team chemistry, ball movement, defense, seriousness for the game. Yeah, he says, and we all know who was scapegoat. But when I brought up all this stuff to my homies and said that the actual game plan should be LeBron coming off the bench instead of Rush, I got looked at like I'm crazy. I even had one of my closest homies, a LeBron fan, tell me that last night that I'm nitpicking things about LeBron when he and I, along with some other brothers, were having a debate about where Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron rank all time. I said Jordan's the undisputed GOAT with Bill Russell as a very close second. Kobe in the top 5 is somewhat debatable, but LeBron is certainly not even top 10 once you analyze and apply all aspects of basketball and the context of how he's done what he's done. Exactly. Not just blindly look at highlights or stats. Someone else in the group said who you pick as the GOAT should be based on what you like. Like if you prefer shooting, you should pick Steph Curry as the GOAT, which is quite insane if you ask me. So much went on in that party chat last night to where I'll be typing for days how they were capping for LeBron. I can imagine. Says, but anyways, props to you, Angry Old Hoop, self-research NBA facts, and the many others who have opened my eyes for the last 2.5 years, just on the game in general. I watch you guys almost every day when I'm getting ready to go about my day, and I now have no respect for post 2010s basketball. I used to blindly have LeBron at number 1, and now, like you, I really don't even rank him. And please check out this channel called Nobody Touches MJ. He's got videos, playlists of multiple stars getting their overrated defense exposed in the playoffs. And guess who has the most defensive lowlights by a mile in his prime? I'd love to hear your follow-up on his great defense, especially against the 07 Spurs, the 2012 Thunder, and every series versus the Warriors. Yeah, we could definitely look at LeBron's overrated defense, because like I said, LeBron James, let's put this out there. I've said this before, but LeBron James fanboys, you guys probably need to hear this again. LeBron James is not a great defender. He never has been, not even in his prime. LeBron James is simply someone who has had some great defensive highlights, and there's been few of those, but based off of a few great defensive highlights, they've tried to label him a great defender. LeBron James has never been that, ever, in his whole career, not since the beginning. But anyway, shout out to Lamar Person Jr. Yeah, this is why I do this channel. This is why you know, I never get tired of doing it, because it's not really about LeBron. It's just about people recognizing that how LeBron James does things is not the way to do them. About that how LeBron James does things is not respectable, and the fact that you can't just make up the rules to life. Like, when there is already a set standard before you, the way to greatness is through that standard set before you. And LeBron James, not only has he thrown the standards out the window as a basketball player, but LeBron James has just shown again, he's not a competitor. He's not a competitor like that. He's simply a front runner in every way possible. And so that's cool. LeBron James can be, here, LeBron James fanboys, I've said this again. I've said this many times, but let me say this again. It's cool if LeBron James wants to be a front-running flopper. That is cool. He can do that. But what he can't do is make people respect it. That's the problem. The bigger problem than LeBron James not holding up to the standards is him wanting to be respected like the rest of the greats. That's the bigger problem. It's like, you can do whatever you want in life, but you cannot control how people view those things. You can't make people accept how you view those things. And if you want to form super teams and trade players and flop all over the court and, you know, and whine at the refs every single time you miss a shot, and what you can do all of those things, you can't make people respect it, and people shouldn't respect it. It's not a respectable thing. But anyway, shout out to Lamar Person Jr. Thank you so much for the $5 super thanks. Thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. And like I said, shout out to all my fellow drummers and fellow musicians out there who watch my channel. And last but not least, my people, shout out to Swan Daily. Again, this is coming from my Luka push to get Giannis to the Lakers. And to me, you know, more than anything, that's just a sign that the Lakers are done with LeBron James. That's a sign that the Lakers are saying, hey, we're not consulting with you about anything. We only are interested in what Luka has to say. But shout out to Swan Daily coming through with the $2 super thanks. He says, we need to hear that verbal carnage on LeBron's recent 8-point game. His legendary 10-point streak is over. Yeah, if you're listening to this video, either the video before you hear this video will be about that, or the next video you hear after this video will be about the Duck and what he did during this 8-point game. it's so much stuff going on with the duck. It's just hard to keep up at this point. But anyway, shout out to everyone. Thank you all so much for the super thanks. Thank you to everyone who is subscribed to the channel. Thank you to everyone who liked the videos. Thank you to everyone who comment on the videos. Thank you to everyone who shares the videos. And like I say at the end of these videos, please continue to support all of the content creators who give you their honest takes that are not paid for. Shout out to Angry Old Hoops, Sports and Fitness Rant, Self-Research NBA Facts. Shout out to The Real Siberia. Shout out to Man Down Sports, Sports T, Scap Attack, Uncut Hoops, Too Raw for TV, Ticket TV, Dreamers Pro, The Real Mind Crime, The Basketball Show, and anybody else who I may be forgetting. Shout out to the Format Podcast. Anybody else who I may be forgetting, please drop them down in the comments. And let me know what you guys think about any of the comments that were mentioned here today. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.